Is that a screwdriver in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, God, here we go.
I'll be here all day.
Hopefully I will. Is that better?
Why do I always look like my eyes are closed? Like I want...
You want Botox or something?
No. It's just I look at myself and it's like, I look like I'm half eyelid closed guy.
You just look tired all the time?
I mean, well, I am, but what's that?
Would you rather be half eyelid closed guy or creepy?
What's the movie? It's Christmas with the Cranks, where he's eating the Jell-O.
That's after he got Botox. Okay.
Your eye looks better. Sorry, we need to work on the cadence right here.
The purpose of this video is... You're killing me right now. You're really killing me. This is gonna take all day. And that battery, you see that battery bar?
Yo.
Yep.
Is that all
I got another one charging, but the purpose of this video is to answer your questions. You're not gonna interrupt me again, are you? Trying hard not to. Basically, I figured since we finally have comments back and y'all can leave us comments, and there's always lots of questions in the comments, that we could do just like once a month a little Q&A. Since we typically put up 2 videos a week, I thought we could do a Q&A like once a month. So I just feel like things change and happen so fast around here, and then I feel like I'm spending so much time in the vlogs trying to just like share what's been going on or update people or answer questions I see a lot. So anyways, I've got my coffee.
I do not. I have a screwdriver. I don't know why this was in my pocket.
That's a literal screwdriver, not the drink.
Oh.
So kind of what I wanted to do was what I've seen another channel that I watch they do is from each video they read the top comment and then they answer questions from that video, and it's just fun because the top comment is usually a good funny one or something.
Okay.
So
right.
We're gonna start with the video. The big changes are finally happening. Okay, the top comment says, bunch of laughing emojis. I burst out laughing when you put the caption, "The chicken flew, I did not throw him." Yes, when I went back to edit that part of the video, the way that like I go into the coop and then all of a sudden a chicken's like, "Mom!" and comes just like flying out the door. It looks like I walked in there and was like, drop kicked a chicken out of the thing. And kind of the same thing on the duck side when they all jumped out. It looked like I went in there and like threw the ducks out. So I was like, I know that most people won't think that, but just in case, I'm just gonna throw that in there because
CYA. Whenever
I think, oh, I don't need to say that, they'll know that, they'll get that. Not the case. All right, so I'm just gonna go through some of the questions in here. Sassy Pants asks, would you be willing to share your chore lists and examples of chores you assign? I do have a previous video. We did a video a couple years ago about chore lists and stuff for our kids, but it's
updated. We should do it again because I don't think
it's completely different. I
don't think the overall methodology has changed, but obviously responsibilities and
we didn't used to pay then, and we do pay for certain things now.
Right.
So we'll do an updated video about that. Sure. And yes, I'll share the chore list thing that I created just as like a freebie thing on my website, and y'all can go there to download it and
those laminated things. Those are good.
Yeah, just a little individual chore list for the kids. Lots of people really liked the part of the video at the end where you said, "I don't even know me, but I'm loving me." That's a deep, profound thought to think on. Lots of people appreciated that you said that.
It's true. I mean,
just funny because I chuckled when I was editing it.
It's just me and profound usually don't go together in the same sentence. But with that said, I think I've seen a lot of changes in not only myself but everybody in the family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really cool to see. It's really refreshing to interject our family into this brand new lifestyle, go through massive changes, massive transitions, and to kind of look backwards now and see the growth and see just the character building in some cases, the increased responsibility, I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's nice.
No, I agree. Shelby and Kennedy sitting by you while you cooked makes me so happy. I remember your dreams of a big kitchen the kids could gather around. Yes, I've said that for a long time. I wanted a heart of the home kitchen where I could be in there doing stuff and my kids could be in there talking to me, and that is exactly what we got. Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's too much conversation.
What you doing?
Mom. Have you ever seen snakes or scary animals on your property? Not the ones purchased, so not animals you're afraid of. But snakes are scary animals on this property. And I did sort of reply to that comment a little bit. We've seen a couple of king snakes, but never anything that's dangerous. So king snakes or big black snakes are good snakes. You want to see them. I know that some people have the philosophy of like, there's no snake is a good snake. The only good snake is a dead snake, that sort of thing. Nope rope. But but the black king snakes actually keep away the bad poisonous snakes like copperheads. Yeah. So where we live, we don't have like rattlesnakes and stuff like that, but we do have copperheads, and they are very dangerous.
They're dangerous, yeah, for sure.
So we're cognizant, and we have, we've warned the kids. We had copperheads in our last neighborhood though, so our kids have known about what to look for and all that with the snake. And
we have the dogs do a really good job because they free range around the property. There's not really a safe space for snakes to hang out,
except for behind my cabin here, where we have a very happy snake habitat forming. That will be going away soon now that the garage is here. What are you laughing at?
That's just funny.
What?
Snake habitat forming.
It is it's sort of like an open door invitation to like, hey snakes, you want a really nice place to live? We made you one right here where we keep our children's bikes.
That's funny.
That coffee mug is beautiful. Do you mind sharing where you found it? That's the Cup of Ambition mug. My friend Stephanie actually got that for me in Nashville. I tried to look online to see if I could find something close to link you guys, and I could not. I found some on Etsy that are just the words, but nothing with like the pretty flowers and stuff. So, sorry. Your husband is so funny.
This is true. Thank you. I will not refute that statement. And it just pains her that I'm so much funnier than her. Drives her crazy, actually.
All right, there weren't a ton of actual questions in there that I didn't answer previously, so I'm going to move on. Is that the next video? The next video is the new mama and baby join the farm, and the top comment on that video was from SM. I didn't buy a house for my cars. They can stay outside. Dying. Somebody,
you're good for at least 3 good one-liners per video.
Somebody on Facebook, a gentleman, an older gentleman, left a comment on Facebook and said, if you don't keep cars in it, it's not a garage. And so I responded and said, do big wheels count? But I was also thinking of like all the ways in which that statement is patently false. Of like, extrapolate that to other things. If you don't do X with this thing, then it is not this thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So I just thought it was kind of funny because I'm like, cars don't make a garage. That's like saying if you never cooked in your kitchen, then it's not a kitchen.
That's a really good analogy.
If you only ever just walked past it and didn't make any food in it, then it's not a kitchen. Then what is it? I don't know. SS said, all these animals plus all those kids, I can't even take care of myself. I don't know how she does it. I did respond and say, she doesn't do it all. There's lots of people, but I do feel like... Right. I feel like this is something that constantly comes up, and every time I try to nip it in the bud and sort of... This is like, it's a team effort. I don't know how else to explain that and convey that. And the only reason I constantly feel the need to address it is because I would never want someone to feel bad about themselves or their lives or what they accomplish in a day, thinking that I'm the only person doing all of this stuff around here. I mean, it's...
No, that's fair. And that's really... Do
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not being snarky.
I know. I think... And you do a really good job of not portraying that. I think there's a conscious effort to make sure that we are as real on camera as we are off camera, and this is very much both of us 100% all in pretty much all the time. You know what I mean?
I think maybe what it stems from is the fact that I'm the one you see most in videos. I'm the one you see most in vlogs because it's my vlog channel and always has been. So I think that sometimes people forget that because we're not a traditional family channel and we don't divvy up airtime between, not that all family channels do that, but I'm just saying, like, we don't divvy up airtime. We don't ensure to show every person in every video or anything like that. The vlogs are this life from my perspective. So you guys are interjected and sprinkled in. Well, that makes it sound.
Well, no, what I mean,
yeah, everyone's just orbiting around me
through the lens of your vlog, right? It's not.
Right, everyone else is just doing their own thing, whatever they're doing. So if it makes sense for them to be filmed in the moment, or you're filming, or you know what I mean, you want to update on something or whatever, but it's never, I don't chase you guys around and say, film something, show me what you're doing, like all that kind of thing, you know? So I get why people would think that. I guess I'm just wanting to make sure that I continue to reiterate and remind people that this is a family operation in terms of the farm and our life here. There's 2 adults contributing to everything, as well as we have 8 children, many of which who are old enough to contribute in various ways to farm chores and things like that. And then we also have my parents who live 2 miles, 3 miles down the road from us and are here usually twice a day. And they're doing tons of stuff too, regarding the animals and land management and care and all that kind of stuff. So it's not a one-woman show. It never has been. I will never claim to be, you know, flying solo with all of this stuff. I could never do all of these things by myself, ever.
Now,
even if I never slept.
Said, I know you would never say this, but you are pretty awesome.
No,
I think you're awesome. How about that? Let me start there.
I have ADD and can't sit down.
Also very true. You enjoy being busy, you enjoy being productive, and that bears a lot of fruits in a lot of different avenues of your life, whether it's homeschooling, whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning, whether it's farming, whether it's filming, right? Like, you enjoy all the things that you do, and you try a lot of new things, you enjoy learning new things. And so I think through the viewer's eyes, that comes across as you doing a lot, which that's probably a fair assessment because you do a lot, but... I do a lot? No, actually, I don't do a lot. That's part of my problem. If I could do more. Count it! Jenny M said, nuts? No. Ever since you moved, I've wanted to move in. You'd never notice with the large family, and I would help. Come on, Jenny. We'll take you. That is one area that I do think that we are constantly evaluating is help in whether it makes sense in various regards, whether it's help with the kids or help with the farm stuff, that sort of thing, or help in my business, hiring people in that regard. So we're always evaluating that. It took us a while, I would say at least a couple months, to kind of figure out the rhythms of what it was like being a large family in this new lifestyle. It really did, between the new configurations of the house and then needing to build this office, the structures going up, adding animals. Like, we're very learn as you go. Yeah. And kind of fly by the seat of your pants. Sometimes that's really fun and adventurous and life-giving. Other times it's very painful and exhausting. And exhausting, right. And draining. So anyways, we went through that season. I think we're in a really good place now where the rhythms are humming. I don't know how you feel, but that's because we're not in full school rhythm right now. It very well could be. It very well could be. But we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. MJ Mama Homesteads asked, are you talking about Azure standard for the bulk food? I'm going to sign up for it. So happy that we finally have a drop site near us now. Yes. So I discovered Azure standard, I think is what it's called. I don't quite know exactly how to explain it. This is my first time using it. So they sell a lot of bulk items, and they have everything for being able to create a nice, food amount of food storage. So the way that it works is you place the order, and then you get a shipping date, and they bring everything on a big truck, and you meet at the drop spot, and you come unload your own stuff. So you have a date that you have to be there. So I placed my first order. I'm going to vlog and film all of that stuff, and I'll share with you guys how it goes, just kind of a review of it. I had a lot of questions about that, but that's where I'm testing. So we've got a few drop sites around us, but one relatively close. So
I think it's another week or so before that order ships, but I will keep you guys updated on that.
This is a weird question, but I'm actually very curious. Have yourself or CR been injured by any of the animals, even just by accident?
I can't imagine with the horse and llama feet, goat horns, beaks, LOL.
Okay, let me think here.
Anybody been injured by the animals?
Noah was spit on by a llama.
That was when the llamas first came home.
Yes.
And
it's not injured.
The boys have, they're
rowdy, rough boys.
Yeah, they had to learn, and they had to learn the hard way how to behave and how not to. We said many times, if you go in there and you act all crazy, they're going to be afraid of you. They're going to whatever. And Pacha spit at Noah, but it should be said that the llama has they've never spit at anybody else. They've never spit, even when we caught them. The vet was here when we were doing shearing, which we'll get to shearing. But all of that stuff, we've never been spit at, ever. They only spit at each other.
There was a small period, we're kind of past it now, where when the boy goats were younger and much more adolescent, they kind of went through I don't want to say aggressive stage, but they would headbutt. They try to headbutt some of the littler toddlers when we were all like walking in the pasture with them.
Yeah, that was kind of during their teenage.
Yeah, and so I had to kind of wrestle them down. There's something you can do with male goats to kind of show dominance. I guess is the best way to put it, where you can flip them and kind of hold them down for a little bit, just to let them
pin them down, just like a dog would do, or you do that to roosters. Lots of animals you pin down to show your dominant.
That's right. So when we'd all be out there, they would be not afraid of me, but would have their eye on me and not the little babies running around.
How did that make you feel, being dominant over a goat?
I mean, good.
Angie teaching the boys about the mini horses. Guess what? They're at the perfect height to kick. This is one of the many reasons I love you and your channel. What's actually funny is that I was thinking more along the lines of getting kicked in the head, but then when I watched it back, I realized well, no, actually, you're probably right. It's more in line to get kicked there too. Yeah, I think it's easy with little animals like that, especially the mini horses, to think that, oh, they're just these mini little horses and but they're still horses and they will still kick you, bite you, you still have to use the same ground manners. You still have to do the same groundwork with mini horses as you do with big horses. And I was, and still am, always afraid that my children will forget those things.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in this one caveat. I'm sorry, you have to join me for the rabbit trails. One of the things that I've thought a lot about in the last year since we moved here is that one of the biggest differences between living on this little hobby farm and living in our neighborhood before is that the rules, the don't do this, don't go there, don't touch this thing, all of that, they have a lot more harsher consequences here than they do necessarily in our neighborhood. Some things could even be life and death. So it's become, that has challenged our parenting in a number of ways, because where you could give a little grace and understand that this child had just made a mistake and they just need to give them grace. In this scenario with tractors and animals that can kill you if they want to, it's so critical and important that our kids follow our rules and understand why, that they're in place for their safety. So I will just add that has been an extra parenting challenge since moving here, is wanting to be able to give the same amount of grace that we've always given, but also understanding that in some things we just can't, because the consequences are the cost is too high for you to break that rule.
We did a whole podcast on this back when we had our...
Yeah, but that was before we had the farm.
It was before we had the farm, but in light of why you brought this up, it's exactly, it's spot on, because we talked about it back then, where certain things where it's life or death, whether it's like a head injury or a spine injury or something very serious could happen.
Yeah.
No needs to mean no.
Right.
There's zero room for tolerance when it comes to something like playing out in front of a tractor that's driving by, right? Trying to be silly or something like that. And it's been a little bit more of a transition now. Trying to make sure that stays consistent. And
the other thing that the other question I see, there's lots of comments and stuff about the llama sharing. So really briefly, when we tried to find a shearer, we apparently started calling too late in the season. Most people book a year ahead of time, and then they travel. There's not a ton of shearers anywhere in our area. In fact, there's none directly in our area, but they travel. So they put you on the books, and when they come through your state, they come and shear your animals. Well, we just didn't know how all that worked and didn't know we needed to get on anybody's list, so we missed out. So we had to do it ourselves. We didn't really have a choice. I asked the vet, we briefly asked the vet about sedatives and stuff, and they weren't really like, yeah, sure. It was more like, well, so long story short, after doing a bunch of research and seeing that the main way that people were doing it was by tying their front legs, tying their back legs, and stretching them out, and then just kind of hopping on them and shearing. To me, that looked to be more aggressive than I wanted to be with them. We, especially with the long-term goal of being able to use some of our animals as part of a therapy program for foster kids from trauma. We really didn't want to do anything that would traumatize our animals. And again, I know everyone has a different view on the farm life stuff and animals and what you should and shouldn't do and that kind of thing. And I know that a couple people left comments saying that tying them up like that really doesn't hurt them, it doesn't bother them. But the videos that I saw of it, it looked pretty traumatic. I wasn't something that I really wanted to do if we could help it at all. So we ordered shears and tried it ourselves. Clippers, yeah, and tried it ourselves. And it didn't go as bad as it could have gone. Cusco did great. He stood. Again, that was all, I had some people saying like, well, you need to tie him this way, you need to do that. Again, after all the research I had done, I decided that what we wanted to do was have the llamas feel as comfortable as possible, which is why we were having CR hold them haltered and giving them some food and treats to stand still. They're young, they're under 1. So it worked great for Cusco, and it worked okay for Pacha. The biggest problem was that I don't think I had the shears on the right setting, because Cusco had no problem letting us run that down him, but he did only tolerate it for about 15 or 20 minutes before he was like done. And if the shears had been on the right setting, that's all it would have taken to completely take his hair down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but the shears or the cutters or clippers or whatever, I think are just not on the right setting because it never got the hair down really low. So we're gonna do a round 2, but we did get a significant amount of hair off, which was our only goal. I appreciate those of you who were kind and supportive of
every kid, every boy kid goes through a bad haircut phase. This is just theirs.
Yeah, somebody in the llama group I'm in was like, no llama has ever died from an embarrassing haircut. So good job.
Nailed it.
Good for you for trying. And that was it. Like I said, I've never claimed to be a llama shearer, animal shearer. I just had to help my animals, and so this was all I could do. Was give it my best effort, which I know was not good, but.
And if anything, like, especially with Pacha, that hands-on experience. I don't know. When I go out and feed him now in the mornings, he lets me pet him a lot more now than before we started. When we sheared him. Yeah. Why can't I talk?
Before we sheared him?
Before we sheared him. And it's just that little bit of experience there, I think, actually had some payout.
CR looks like he's lost weight.
I friggin' have.
Is it okay to comment on dude's weight?
I don't care. It's redistributed itself into a location that I don't want it to be.
Have you lost weight?
I have lost muscle mass over the last year, yeah. I haven't worked out.
Oh.
As much. And so it's
they said it like smaller. It was a positive thing.
From a little guy who I've always struggled actually putting on weight. Back when I played college sports, it's really hard for me to gain weight just because my metabolism has always been so high. And I don't want that to come across the wrong way. Listen, I get there are people who
every wife on the planet's like, I know your metabolism's so high.
My struggle has been getting bigger and stronger. My frame doesn't carry increased weight often, and so it's really hard for me to put on weight, keep it on, unless I'm just eating the lights out and hammering protein drinks and going to the gym all the time. And now I'm withering away. Literally.
Okie doke. Lisa Marie says, how do you like the frame TV? Any cons, and is it a plug and play, or did you have to buy additional accessories? I really love the frame TVs.
I was a little like, what, frame too? Skeptical at first, but I think it looks fantastic. The one in our bedroom, that frame that you got, like that gold one, looks really good, and they're super easy. If you ever get one, don't let the instructions.
Is it plug and play?
I don't know really. Yeah, pretty much. There's a one wire you plug in and hook it up.
Away you go.
Away you go.
Okay. That's what she's asking. Is it easy to set up and stuff? Did you have to buy anything additional? Nothing
additional unless you want to hide the clear small cable. Like you don't. This TV doesn't come with like multiple plugs that look ugly if you don't go through the wall to try and make it invisible. It comes with a very, very skinny fiber optic cable, and it's clear. So you can hide it very well if you don't want to go through the wall to an outlet. So
gotcha.
Hopefully that helped.
Do you have a generator? Are you planning on getting one for your home? We've been considering one and just wondered. Mom and baby are adorable. Such a sweet addition. I definitely want generators.
I do as well.
Solar and rain barrels.
All the things. I don't know why we didn't ever get one when we were doing the travel trailer like vacation
Well, we
stuff.
look because the first thing was just the month that we went on that first initial trip to like test it out, see everything. Then we were supposed to come home, recoup, and then go on a big long trip. And after the month, we were like, we don't really want to get back in that RV with all these kids again. Turns out,
don't get me wrong, it was a blast.
Not as fun as it yeah, we had such a good time, but
it was good to come home. Yes, I think a generator is definitely on the radar. Man, we had a storm roll through here last night. Lightning, like a lightning storm, was 1 mile from our house. My phone was just going bananas. And we've lost power a couple times, so it's definitely something where we'll get one.
We haven't lost power as many times here though as we did in Mint Hill when we would have storms.
Yeah, that's true.
Our power stayed on through quite a few storms.
Gosh, remember that time you got stuck in a tornado?
What do you mean? When I was recording my book?
Yeah, so you're doing the audio for your book, and
you said stuck in a tornado.
A tornado. Well, literally, like it hit downtown, and
I opened the door to leave the building because I thought, and there was like freaking trash cans zooming around and like blowing back in my face, and the water started pouring through all the cracks of the door above and around, and like flooding the waiting area. It was bananas.
That was intense.
And yes, lots of people were a little confused, I think, that the mama and baby are miniature horses, not ponies. There is a difference between them. Somebody thought they were donkeys. They are miniature horses, which are a different thing. Ponies, like Shetland ponies and stuff, that's a different breed, if you will. And you've got lots of different types of horses. Yeah, there's a lot of variation in that, but these are just like miniature versions of horses, not ponies. Ponies notoriously have attitudes. Ponies notoriously can be nasty. I don't know if they've got like a Napoleon complex or like what's going on, but ponies can be mean.
Every horse is a pony to me.
Every horse is different. I'm sure there's
questionable at best.
I'm sure there's really nice ponies out there. So if you've got a pony you love, don't think I'm hating on them. But ponies just have a reputation for that. Whereas miniature horses do not. However, depending on the size of the miniature horse, some are rideable, some are not, and only rideable by like very small children. So that's
very small CRs.
Yeah, I don't know. Mama Ellie might be able to hold you.
She weighs 300 pounds.
Did you weigh her?
No, your mom told me.
Oh, okay. We need to get out our large animal scale and weigh the llamas and the I want to weigh the baby too. Gosh, it was so funny yesterday. The baby got out. She broke through the fence and got into the big pasture with Bo and Josie. And she was just zoom, zoom, zoom.
It was like a kid at a playground.
Yeah, she just
running around.
Yeah, so cute. We ended up moving Bo and Josie for a little while and letting her and Mama loose there for a little bit. But this is not their permanent location, just in the barn with this little strip of grass. That's just their acclimate place. That's where we're putting them to acclimate to everything. And Mom's still nursing baby, so we want to be careful about where we put them, who we add them with, so that we don't have any issues, right? She's going to be very protective, particularly while she's still nursing.
And the barnyard's like a frat party.
Depending, yeah, the barnyard is. Now we're moving on to that escalated quickly vlog with my eyeballs. The top comment looks like right now it's from Megan Rammer. My chickens all have egg songs, kind of like bok 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 bok. That's my impersonation.
Do that again.
Sometimes it's not even for their own egg, and they're like cheering each other on. This is very funny because we spilled my coffee.
Oh, sorry.
I heard this hullabaloo happening in the coop yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it was over eggs. Like, just randomly you'll hear that the chickens singing to each other, like really getting loud. Kim says it would be a good idea to throw away your mascara and eyeliners and wash all of your makeup brushes. I've washed my makeup brushes. I did throw away the mascara I was using, very sadly, and cleaned and sharpened and got rid of the parts of my eyeliner because it's pencil eyeliner. So that is all handled. But I got a lot of messages about that too. Nicole Daisy said, reading the comments to find out if it hurts when chickens lay eggs. That had 122 thumbs up. Keep Laughing said, we need Lottie merch. She brings such a smile to my face, and though she's a devil, she's so sweet too.
We have some ideas.
Your ear on same side as your sty is quite red. Coincidence or something else irritate? No, my ears are sensitive and they turn red if I scratch them or hit them or do anything to my ears.
Or if my beard like touches your face or your neck.
Yeah. It's like I'm allergic to you.
You just have very sensitive skin.
I think I'm allergic to you.
You just have very sensitive skin.
I think it's allergies. It's like a anaphylactic shock.
You just have like a very
my throat starts to
skin.
swell
you bruise
up.
Like a peach.
And
like
then I
Georgia
get like
peach.
nauseous.
Get rid of this thing. How come yours doesn't do it? Look at this.
Because I don't wear pants that have 6 inches in the inseam.
This is the most annoying
No
thing.
one can see that, and no one wants to see that. So let's move along.
It's the
lean this way.
part that bubbles. That
I know the part that bubbles up. We all know. Tickles when you touch it.
I call the big one bitey.
Lottie merch. Actually, somebody that follows us on Instagram. I'm actually not sure if she follows us on YouTube as well, but she designed the cutest Lottie thing. That it's like a logo thing. So we're thinking about doing maybe coffee mugs. I don't know if anybody would actually like wear it on a shirt. Maybe like on a pocket if we did it like small on a pocket.
Okay.
But I'll actually insert the design here so you guys can see, maybe like over here, so you guys can see what it looks like. And you guys tell me, mugs, t-shirts, like what would you want to see with the Lottie design?
It's like a Lottie meme.
Yeah, it's really good. And yes, she's exactly that. The sweetest devil. CR riding the bicycle in circles around the garage, laughing face. My favorite part about that is that was actually a child's bike.
Hey, I'm not scared.
But
did it have? Oh, it didn't have training wheels.
No,
on.
it doesn't
That's
have
good.
training wheels.
That
Thank
was good.
goodness for you. Totally missed the podcast with you and your husband. The banter is entertaining. Lots of thumbs up on that too. Again, this is something we've talked about a bunch, wanting to bring back the podcast, but we need certain things to be in a row first before we do that. It is something that
we both really, really, really enjoyed doing it. We had a lot of fun, but we are both of the personality type that if we're going to do something, we want to be really good at it and put out a really good product and make it everything it could be, which takes time.
Yeah, and if we don't feel like we're doing that or can do that, then we pull back. So
that's right.
Sometimes it might seem like, well, you guys start stuff and then stop it or whatever, but it's only born out of a desire to be giving to people what we've promised them, and if we can't, then we don't want to do it.
Yep.
And even though I'm a done is better than perfect type of person when it comes to certain content things, not when it comes to like what I'm giving to you guys and how it goes, you know? So maybe it is something that we want to bring back. I just don't know yet when or how. What would be fan-freaking-tastic is if we could find a podcast producer, somebody that could do
They're out there.
that stuff for us, do all the production stuff so that we could both show up like the talent instead of
show up like this and just
instead of me having to do all the setup, then do the show, then do all the post-production stuff. It's a lot on top of everything else that we already do. Use Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo, no more tears. A hospice nurse told me that once. Hope it helps with your sty. So I was going to tell you guys that when I was in Denver, I ended up going to the doctor there because the teledoc here couldn't help me, and then I couldn't get in here. So we flew to Denver, and I went to the doctor there, and she basically said the same thing. She gave me an oral antibiotic, so I'm on a pill form of an antibiotic, and a drop in my eye antibiotic, which I avoid medications as much as possible. I really try the natural approaches. I did the colloidal silver. I did the hot tea bags. I mean, I did everything, the warm compresses, everything, and this thing just came raging back. So I needed antibiotics. It was going from a sty into orbital cellulitis. So like the whole area was getting infected.
You were this close to having just full on ace bandage around your head.
If you had seen when you lifted up my eyelid and looked underneath to what was under there and what it looked like when it was draining, not good.
No, thank you.
Anyways, but she told me to also wash it with a yellow Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. Not any other, just the yellow one. And I was like, okay. So I went and bought a little teeny thing of it at Target and did that as well. So I really hit it from all sides. But yes, even the doctor told me that one. Yeah. CR riding his bike in circles talking about a frog. Poor Angie trying not to itch her eye. Suddenly a wild Lottie appears. What a fun moment.
That sums it up.
My favorite part is that Miss Sarah here thinks that that's your bike because it's a kid's bike.
I'm not a clown. I'm not riding around on a mini bike.
No, but that's what's funny is that it's only a size smaller than what you would need.
That is so
they don't notice that it's a kid's bike because you are
Jonah,
fun size.
That is like a 23-inch bike. All right, just because my feet don't touch the ground.
Quote, at least I didn't get punched in the face by a chicken.
Dude, Shelby got knocked out by a chicken wing.
Knocked out.
She got punched in the face by a chicken.
TKO.
It was really funny too.
Somebody said, why not cut a door in the side of the chicken house instead of removing them morning and evening? We did.
Dunsky.
As soon as the run was completely finished, we cut the door and got an automatic chicken door. So right now it's set to sunrise and sunset. Yep. And for the most part, the chickens, I mean, they're out there with bells on at about 6:30 in the morning. They are out. At nighttime, they mostly all go in, but we have had to double check because a couple of them will straggle and stay out.
The midnight Magellans, midnight margarines.
Hey CR, can you name
midnight?
If I asked you to name,
I don't like this game. I do not like this game. I see where it's going.
Ichiro Suzuki.
You just left Benihana. This is why this is funny. Was he on the? That's exactly right. Ichiro Suzuki. Yes, he's probably one of the greatest hitters of all time.
Okay, so I can remember the name of a Japanese baseball player.
Hall of Fame.
I can remember the name of a Japanese baseball player that you loved in high school. We're almost 20 years removed from high school, and you can't remember the name of chickens that we bought 3 months ago.
How close am I? It's midnight Magellans, midnight, it's in that vicinity, all right? Midnight.
No, please keep guessing. This is fun.
I only have 3. It's either Magellans, midnight I keep wanting to say margarines or Magellans.
Midnight Majestic Marins.
I was way off. Holy crap. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Midnight Majestic Marins. The comets. The
Golden Comets.
Golden Comets.
What did you used to call them?
Golden.
What did you call them?
The Golden Rocket.
The Golden Rockets. Like some weird.
How do you put up with me?
Like some weird poultry NBA team.
Like.
What? The Golden Rockets. Michaela said, roosters have an extra spike on the back of their leg above their feet used to protect the coop and intimidate predators. That's how you can always tell the difference. Good to know. And they also hopefully say cock-a-doodle-doo at like 5 a.m. I'm sure it's frustrating for you, but it's hysterical to see all of Lottie's antics. Would love to see the twins' reaction to the mini horses. Just got back from Estes Park, Colorado, and they had a lot of rain, so take a poncho or a raincoat. Hope your eye gets better. Have a safe trip. We actually only had rain the first day, and then it was sunny and hot, minus the humidity, which was so nice to not have humidity.
It's rough here.
It really just takes it up a notch because you're sweaty before you do anything. You just walk outside and the humidity makes you sweat. Our chickens always announce their eggs. They come out and scream.
That sounds about right. Dude, we had a 3-egg day today.
Yeah, we got 3 today so far. Maybe we'll get more later. Margaret says, I'm a doctor and I work for Teladoc. I would have been so excited to do a consult with you. This doctor was not as excited. I sent her a picture and she was like, She was like, you need to go see somebody. This is not a Teladoc situation. I was like, well, do I get my money back? The North Life said, chickens sing the song of their people while they're laying eggs. Some are louder than others. We have one who sings, screams for like 15 minutes straight. So I guess it does hurt at least some of them. That's very interesting.
It reminds me of like one of those, like after a wedding when the bride and groom get married and they're like going down the steps, you have like that row of people on each side. They're like, yeah, throwing around. That's what the hen house reminds me of sometimes.
Yeah.
They're just like cheering each other on.
I may have missed it, but what does the R stand for in CR?
Really good. Robust man.
Keep trying.
Rotisserie.
Randall.
It's
Christopher Randall.
Yes. That was my uncle's name. Was Randall.
Tiffany Westbrook said, OMG, I love Steel Magnolias. Love it even more that you named your chickens after it. Yeah, we've got Truvy, Clary, Malin, and Weezer. We don't have an Annelle. We're missing an Annelle, but we only had 4 Easter eggers, and we named all the Easter eggers. Will you eventually allow the chickens to free range on the property?
I think maybe we'll get one of those little chicken buggies or whatever they're called, like a chicken cart.
We're going to be making a chicken tractor. We're not going to be getting a chicken buggy. I don't even know where you get a chicken buggy.
I don't know. Where do you buy a chicken tractor?
You make one.
No, I don't see them free ranging. I think with the dogs, in particular, they like to round them up.
I would feel awful if one of our dogs accidentally killed one of the chickens or just got carried away with it. It's not necessary considering the space they have. We may, like he said, build a chicken tractor and move it around, particularly when we're working new areas of land and trying to get space that gardens can grow and stuff can grow and things like that. We'll utilize the chickens that way. But yeah, they're laying hens. We have them for eggs. So we want to keep them safe and protected and all of that. Yeah, we would like to see them live.
30-foot run. They have a massive run. That's a big run for the amount of chickens we have.
Somebody said you have severe allergies to farm life and you need to ask a doctor what can help when your eyes get swollen like that because you live out on a farm with all the animals and hay, cut from the dust and hair. Maybe we can give you something special for your eyes, stronger allergy medication. I'll be praying for you. Have a great, blessed day. I do have allergy medication. What was going on with my eye, not allergy related. And it's really actually not any of the animals or anything like that I'm allergic to. We've discovered pretty clearly it's the hay. It's the hay blend. We have a orchard blend, Timothy. I think it's the Timothy in it actually that's the thing that I'm allergic to. Because even just if I just take one flake and throw one flake of hay, it gets up in my nose and I start sneezing or I start itching and stuff. So whenever I handle the hay, I have to wear gloves. I try not to
just like
inhale
a full
it too much.
hazmat suit while you're out there.
Yeah.
Now, granted, during the allergy season out here, we were both really bad.
Yeah, it was a new place, new allergies.
That's right.
But taking the allergy medication, we just both do Flonase and a non-sleepy allergy pill, and that was enough.
Yeah, that works.
That was fine. Yeah. I don't think it's anything more serious than that. I don't think it's anything I need to get a specialized allergy pill for or anything.
Just a new eyeball, just a glass eyeball.
What's that movie where you see how you die by looking in the witch's glass eye?
Real big fish.
Do you want to look at my glass eye and see how you die?
I've already done that. It's so good.
I know this is silly, but who is Grand Nanna? You guys always reference her, but I'm not sure who she is. Is she Ciara's mom?
Good guess. Yes. Her name is Donna. She is a grandma. Grand Nanna. That was her invention of the name.
Yeah.
She's very proud of that.
You might be relatively new around here because she used to be able to visit a couple times a year. It's been like one time a year as of the last year or two. Tammy says if you do have a rooster, be careful. They can flog you. They can be really mean. They will attack.
Stoning?
I don't know.
That's not what
I like
flogging?
the use of the word flogging there, though.
That's
Tammy.
a UK thing. That's got to be.
Tammy, are you from the UK? Is that what is flogging?
Yes, I think so.
I will just address this only because I've gotten this comment quite a bit on videos as of recently, which is kind of funny, but you're looking a little too thin, take care of yourself, or some variation thereof. What I think is funny is I've actually gained weight since we moved here. But I appreciate, I really genuinely appreciate the concern that people have. Since we moved here, I've put on a little bit of weight, though I will tell you in truth, I put my scale away when we moved here. I'm pretty sure it's under about this much dust right now. I don't weigh myself. I don't do that. I do intermittent fasting, and my weight fluctuates because it just really depends on how much I'm doing outside. I'm not on a diet. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not doing any of those things. It's just the way that I am, and to be honest, I feel as though I'm a pretty normal, healthy weight for my height.
Do you feel good?
Yeah.
You feel good. That's all that matters.
But people are trying, nobody's trying to be mean. They're asking because, you know, they care, and I don't want it to seem like I'm being like,
nice.
It's fine, what are you talking about? Though I will say, I would remind people that it can be just as offensive to tell someone that they're too thin as it were if you were to comment and say, it looks like you've gained some weight, Angie, like maybe you should lay off the Cheetos or whatever. Like, it can be the same thing for certain people, so just keep that in mind. Commenting on people's weight is always kind of a no-no, you know? But I understand where it's coming from concern, you know? All right, so that covers questions from the last, not all of them, obviously we can't answer everything, but quite a few questions from the last couple of videos. Grand Nanna's here for the next couple weeks, so we're gonna be hitting the rest of our projects, trying to wrap up what's not wrapped up. With the chicken coop, we've got the big garage project, we've got to empty our storage unit here and back in Charlotte. So we're going to utilize the time while Grand Nanna's here and having fun with the kids, that we can get some projects done that really require both of us.
Twins' birthdays, Rosie's birthday, your birthday, our anniversary. I mean, we're coming down.
Our anniversary's not when your mom's here, but
the gauntlet right here.
That's it for this Q&A. We will do another one next month. That's kind of my goal, is to do these one a month basically. So if y'all have comments or questions, leave them on the upcoming vlogs and videos, and we'll try to get to those and keep y'all abreast of the latest happenings of Fairhaven Farms. Okie doke. That's it. We will see you guys again very soon. You just gonna sit there like a statue? You didn't even have your hand up. You sign us out.
Thanks for the questions. Have a good one.
Help. Help.
Girl, I think it's time I let you go. Writing songs about you is getting